Hello there and welcome back to Craft Therapy. Would you look at where we are? Today is Saturday, October 12th, and last week's video I showed you that we had finished this section off. So we now are basically working with one garment. So this week we are going to begin the process of joining the sides. The shape is pretty nice, but this is not my shape. As I said in a previous video, I'm a big girly, so I got some girth in here. But what I was thinking of doing is similar to what I did on the sleeve, which is to create that L-shaped wedge, and I would have done L-shaped wedges on both parts of the side and then join them in the middle. But when I tossed it over my shoulders, I don't think I will need as much as I have on the sleeve. Possibly all I would need is just maybe a 9-piece section, and I would maybe do the 9-piece section with black on the borders and maybe the color purple. So it'll be purple, 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 black, 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 black. Something like that is what I'm thinking, because I don't need all of this in the sides, or it's going to be too bulky. Also, whereas I maybe don't need all of that here, because this is going to be the side closer up to my bosom area, down here for the hips, I think I will work with that, because the hips fit. It's just a little too snug. And if I have the same amount at the top and the bottom, it might be a little bit too boxy of a look. So for the hips, I will definitely use this design for the insert in terms of the 6 on each side with the insert. And that will give it a little bit more width. So it's almost like a little peplumish look, so to speak. But this is where we are at. Also, because I'm not going to be doing this for the purple section, I might not need as many of these as I thought I was going to need. So off camera, of course, I'm going to get cracking on these black motifs to fit down here. I think I'm going to do the hip section first, in terms of joining the hip section and then gauging the upper section. I had wanted to make all of this one video, so let us see how it looks, and then I can determine, where I go from there, because I don't want to make these videos too long. I know one of the other videos was like 40 something minutes. I don't want the videos to be too long, because I need you to be doing what you're doing and not having to sit and watch me doing what I'm doing, right? So we're going to get these motifs done. Definitely not today. We're going to get some more of these motifs done, get the hip section joined, the waist hip section joined, and see how it looks, and we will go from there. So see you in a second, but for me it might be a couple days on my end. And we're back. Today is Monday, October 21st. So it took us just about an entire week to get back to this point. Now we are at a bit of a crossroads here. Initially, I had said that I was going to do the hip section first and then do the sides, but I did a test run last night after I got one of the purple sides finished along with the hip section, and the hip section is a little bit finicky, so I'm going to park that and focus on getting this. This is not attached just yet because I had to do a fitting. When I fit it with it joined all the way up here, the arm was too small. I have chunky arms, right? I'm a chunky girl. So what I have to do is break it here instead. Right? So what I'm going to do is just maybe fold this down and secure it in some way, form or shape, and have a cap sleeve. Now the cap sleeve part of it, I'm a little bit in two minds about, because it would mean that I have absolutely nothing underneath the arm, which is neither here nor there to me. But let me see how I get the sides on and how it fits, and then I'll determine if I'm going to put on another layer or something along here to kind of not let the sleeve be so openish, right? But I suspect that if I come down more, I'm gonna have to just join underneath, which I don't really want, because it's gonna be a little bit hot, a little bit, you know, awkward and tight. I like the looseness, I like the openness of it, I don't mind. So what I'm gonna do is get the sides joined, get the purples on. I have the other one ready to go on the other side. I'm gonna get them on, see what they look like, and then we'll see how the pink part will go. Now today is Monday. The latest I have to work on this is by about Friday morning, so that I can edit and upload by 3 o'clock on Friday afternoon. So let us see how the purple fits, how I figure out the pink panel, the pink section, and we'll take it from there. So all things being equal, I will have the sides done for this week's video. If not, I will have just the purple side done, and then next week will be the pink side. Then the following week we do the finishing touches. But we're coming down to the crunch wire now. The event is a month away, so we're still in good timing. But let me get this put on, come back and see what it looks like, and then we'll take it from there. Alright, so it's about 10:15 p.m. Same Monday, October 21st. I am finished putting on the sides, the purple sides. So this is what it's looking like. This is the sleeve up here. This is the side on the arm. It fits okay, it's roomy enough for me, but I have a problem. This is the side in terms of where my stomach, my hip section is. Now, if I use the same orientation of the 9-panel motifs here, it's going to be too snug on me, and I need to be able to move freely, not feel uncomfortable as if I'm stifling, etc., etc. I really want this midsection here to kind of flow away. However, this that I made to fit in here, I'm gonna have a challenge fitting it in, because this is 18, this is going to end up being 24. And I put this in, remember each of these is 6, so I'm going to have 4 rather than 3. It's going to end up being 24. So I don't know what to do. I really don't know what to do. I will admit, as I have said before, this is my first time ever making a garment out of crochet. I usually make like little runners, you know. I made a couple, maybe a year or 2 ago, I made a whole placemat set for my sister for Thanksgiving. I've never made a garment, you know, but one of the things that I realized with this project is I am the kind of person that, I don't know if it's my imagination or I just feel like I'm superhuman or what, but I realize, you know, when I look back over my life, that there are some things that I would take on for the first time, and I would absolutely believe that I'm quite capable of doing it. I remember back in high school, I baked a cake for the first time. Made a mess of it, but there was nothing that said to me that I couldn't follow a recipe and do it. You know what I mean? And that is my mindset. That has always been my mindset. That, oh, I can do that. I can watch you do it and I can do it. Not thinking that you are trained to do it and I am not. But anyway, I have a little bit of a crisis here. However, what I'm thinking of doing, and I'm gonna see how it works. I'm not sure if I'll get this done for this week's video, because this week is a little bit hectic for me, but I'm finished with these. So if you see this in the outro, then you know I got around to doing this. If you don't, then next week is when we will tackle this part of it. But what I'm thinking of doing is, of course, I'm going to attach this to this, is joining this as usual here. But when I get to these, because now I have 12 remaining here, and this is 18. So that's like a 2-to-1 ratio, if my math is mathing correctly. What I would maybe do, I'll do the math correctly and see how it pans out. But I would maybe do every other, remembering that the joining goes into these stitches, right? I would do every other stitch with 2. So on this, on the 12 that remains, first stitch is 1, the second stitch I would 2 from this into 1 of this, then 1 again, then 2 from this into 1 of this. That's how I think I'm going to do it. As well as I could work, if I'm going to be stressing the stitches too much, I could work with just the space and maybe put the stitches as usual and put maybe 3 into a space. I'll have to play with it. So definitely I don't see this happening for this week's video. But all things being equal, let me then stop talking, put this aside, because this is going to be for next week. And this is what the side is looking like. I tried it on not too long ago and I am loving it. So that's it for this week. We will cross this bridge next week. That's it for this week. Thank you for joining me for craft therapy. Have a good one. And remember, get those hands busy, because when your hands are busy, your mind is at peace. See you next week when we continue with this project.